Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Ryan from Mama's Got a Budget, and thank you so much for joining me. So in today's video, we're back to do a monthly recap, and we are recapping the previous month of March. I cannot believe that we are already in April. It's like insane. The first quarter of 2019 is done already, and I'm just like, okay, what happened? I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I wanted to go ahead and get this video up for you guys so I can check in. You know, I like to not only share my budget and be very transparent, but I also like to be transparent on where I'm going so that no matter about where I've been, so that no matter where you pick me up in my journey, you can probably somehow relate to it at some point along the way. I just started this whole budgeting thing in November, so I'm still kind of learning and tweaking as I go. So these videos are a great reminder for me as well about what I can do to improve and then what worked for the previous month. So if that's something that you're interested in, then go ahead and keep on watching. So personally, March is one of my favorite months of the year. I don't know, it just screams spring to me, new beginnings, things like that. So I really like March. And when I was going back and looking over the month and, you know, taking little notes along the way, I came up with a few things that I wanted to fill you guys in on. Now, if you're familiar with my channel, I get paid twice a month, which is on the 15th and the last business day. So we're recapping 2 months worth of pay. If you guys want to know about my side hustles, which are my online income, that'll be in a separate video. So these videos are just going to encompass what I did or what I was able to do with my income just from my 9-to-5 job. If you guys didn't know, I am a financial manager. I work with highly compensated physicians, and I do all things finance for the doctors. Like I'm their person, they like to call us. I am well versed in like QuickBooks and GL accounts and creating budgets and financial packets and things like that. So I'm trying to implement what I learned in school, which I graduated with a degree in finance and accounting, and to what I do every day, and I put it all into my channel. Sometimes I put it all into my life and I share it on my channel. Sometimes I have good intentions, but they don't always come to these great endings like I think they are, and that's what these videos are here for. So we're just gonna run down my notes of what I had, like wins and fails from the month of March. So the first thing that happened in March that I'm super proud of is that my credit score increased tremendously. Now, if you guys were around for my previous online income report, you guys know that I have two online shops where I sell the cash envelopes and everything that I use in my personal budget. I like to push them out to you guys so that you guys can kind of budget like me. And I was able to take a good chunk of that, what I received in February, and apply it to debt. I have credit card debt, car loan, and student loan. So I started paying down some credit cards. My credit cards were not that high. My ratio wasn't that high, but I was surprised on how just paying down about $1,300 worth of that credit card debt would impact my credit score. My credit score overall increased about 73 points just from paying off $1,300 worth of debt. And I was like, what? Like, that's all that I had to do for that? Now, granted, like I said, my ratio decreased. Some accounts got older. Some things got pushed off that were on there before. So it's kind of like a lot of moving parts, but it didn't really take a lot. And also in March is that one of my credit cards, my American Express, the credit limit on that increased. Now, when I first got the card, my credit score was a little lower, but I felt good about it. And when I applied for the card, and I got approved, I was only approved for $500, which I was more trying to diversify my portfolio, if you will, because I had two Capital One cards at the time. I was like, you know, American Express wouldn't hurt, but I was kind of bummed at the same time when I only got approved for $500. I'm like, okay, really? But I'm like, you know what? I'm going to keep that because I've had my Capital One Platinum card since 07, 08. I've had the same exact card with the same exact number with the same exact picture on the front and everything, and I have kept that up for 10 years, and that only started off at $300, but now it's up to $3,300. So I know that it can increase incrementally. So I started off with $500, And by me paying off that card in its entirety, and I think that was only about 4 months that I've had the card. So they increased my credit limit from $500 to $1,000, which is not a big jump, but when you look at it percentage wise, it doubled, right? So it went up 100%. So this will also help with my ratio because it's going to make that denominator bigger. So as long as I keep my numerator, I can just keep it a little bit smaller, then my denominator will help me out by keeping my ratio lower, if that makes sense. So it'll all even out. But I was super, super proud of the progress that I made with my credit score this month. So if you guys didn't know, I have a son. He is 6 years old, and so he's in first grade. And like I said, March is one of my favorite months, but I don't know why. It just completely skipped my mind that spring break is coming. Where's he gonna go for spring break? So I'm like scrambling. I had to pull extra money from my second paycheck to try to cover some of that loss, because then the cost was going to double for that week that he was going to be in after school care all day. But luckily my sister came in the clutch, so shout out sis for coming in, and she was actually nice enough to get him for 3 out of 5 days for spring break. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I did not have to pay for childcare, which saved me 3 days worth, and I only had to pay for those 2. So I was able to save $60 from the $100 that I wasn't even planning on spending. Sister came in and saved the day, and she'll probably bring this up in like a year and a half.
Remember when I watched your son back in spring break 2019? You owe me.
So she'll probably do that, whatever, but it came in clutch when I needed it too. And speaking of childcare, I also remember at the beginning of March, I think, yeah, I was so focused. No, it was the end of February, and I started at the beginning, the first paycheck of March. I was thinking about the summer. I was like, where's it gonna go for the summer? I don't know where my mind has been. Like, this is not the first year. This is not the first time I've had to do it. I don't know why I just completely spaced on 2019 so far. So when I started thinking about summer childcare, I was like, crap, that's an extra expense. So I had to do some calculations. I put together a quick spreadsheet on what would be the worst case scenario is if he went every single day that he had off in the summer for full time. And I think it's going to be about $1,200 to $1,300. So I started putting aside an extra $100 just to go into childcare. So I've been putting aside an extra $100 per paycheck to go toward the balance of summer childcare. And I was kind of afraid at first, but I've been noticing that it's not as big of a hit as I thought. I'm just treating it like it's another bill, like it's another debt, another recurring type of expense, and I'm just putting it all to the side. So it hasn't been that big of a hit. I'm grateful that I realized it early enough on that I was able to save up, but at the same time, I hope that, I won't have to end up spending so much money on childcare, and that we can end up maybe putting that money towards some fun activities or something like that. And speaking of activities, for spring break, I wanted to do something with him before he went back. And, because it's not his fault that I forgot that it was spring break. And, spring break is all about memories. So I decided to take off work early on Friday, and we went out to the movies and to get something to eat and kind of just like perused around the city. Took him to the movies and we saw Wonder Park, but it was not that expensive because it was matinee pricing, so shout out to matinee. And the theater that we went to had free refills on the popcorn and ices, and that's all we ever get anyway. So we did that, and it ended up only costing $13.50 for the icy and popcorn, but it was like free refills, and then $10 for the tickets. So we ended up spending $23.50 from toys and entertainment. I took it from there instead of Eli Extra because Eli Extra is really for like his summer, like if he does karate or basketball, something like that. And plus I didn't have any singles in Eli Extra, but I had some singles in toys and entertainment, so I just took it from there. But I was glad that I had that envelope there because I literally decided that morning and was just Googling movie times like 10 minutes before I left work, like, okay, what can we go see? So the movie was pretty good, and it was like a cheap date, so I was happy. So the last two things are kind of having to do with me and my habits that I have. And if you guys watch the vlogs, then you know that every day I like to stop at Dunkin'. Then I converted to buying my own coffee at Target, my own cold brew, but then I'm still stopping at Dunkin'. Sometimes for breakfast, a lot of the times just getting breakfast but no coffee. So I'm shaving off about $2.40, $3 a day, whatever, with coffee. But then I'm buying my own at Target and making it at home. I don't know yet. I mean, the coffee is good. The coffee is fine, but I don't know if I'm actually saving money. So I've only been doing it for about, 3 weeks? So I'm still kind of researching, still playing the field on if I'm actually saving money by buying this coffee, because it's $10 for, I should have looked at the size. I have it downstairs in the fridge right now too. So it's $10 for the size, but then I also have to buy the creamer for it. So it's kind of like, am I really saving money here? And then I'm still stopping at Dunkin', like if I want like strawberry frosted donut or a quick coffee roll or an everything bagel, something like that. So it's not, I haven't completely eliminated stopping for breakfast in the morning, but then I'm also still buying coffee. So I don't know, I gotta figure it out, but the jury is still out on the cold brew at home. And the last thing that I implemented in March was me doing my own nails at home. Now, from my cash stuffing videos, you know that my me time envelope was for my manis and petties, because that was like the only thing that I did for myself with any regularity. And it was about $40 each time for the fill, because I would get no chip and gel. Acrylic just wasn't looking right on me, and it was like my cuticles were really, really dry with the acrylic. Then I started breaking nails. So on top of the cost of the fill, on top of the premium for the gel, I was breaking nails for like $3 a piece, and then it was just adding up. So by me doing my nails at home, now as you can see, a lot of you guys commented on my last video that you liked my nails. I'll have the shade name linked down below, but I'm saving a net of about $90 a month just doing my nails at home. Now for pedicures, I'm still gonna go to the nail shop because, like I said, the way my boobs are set up, they're too big, my arms are too short, can't be bending and reaching. No. So I'm still gonna go to the nail shop for pedicures, but those are only about $20 or $23, I think. So they're half the price of my fill-ins. So I've been saving this money and then going to Sally's, which if you caught it in the vlog, we went to Sally's to get the tips and the nail polish. I've been getting at Target, and then the top coat is just Sally Hansen's. So they're really affordable products, on top of the fact that I'm just using regular nail polish. I don't have any gel nails. I'm not putting it under any LED lights. I don't have to tip anybody. I'm getting 120 nails for $7.99. The glue was like 99 cents. So all around, it's good savings, and I'm glad that I switched to doing them at home. And I get real indecisive about colors. What I like one day, I may not like the next. The shape I like one day, I may not want the next week. And I just change my mind so much. I need the flexibility of being able to do them myself, and I'm getting a lot better at polishing them. So holla things. So yeah, those are all the notes I really had for the month of March. You know, mani pedis, coffee, child care is a big thing. Summer program I still have to figure out. So yeah, things like that is what I want to update you guys on, like my kind of like my wins and fails of the month and my improvements. What are my goals for next month? So for April, I definitely want to try to make breakfast at home more. I want to tap into that grocery fund and use it even on breakfast. I use it for lunches at work. Now it's time to transition into using that for breakfast at home. I also want to be able to put more toward my personal savings. In the month of March, I put aside, I think, less than $100. Like, I have business savings and then my personal savings. My personal savings, I think I put aside less than $100. Oh, and I do have, for those of you that are asking, I do have a 401k that I'm just saving through my job. So I have a traditional 401k where a certain percentage of my check just goes completely into there. I don't see it, I don't touch it, I don't do anything until retirement. So that's sitting there, that's, you know, savings. But as far as like my savings account, like my Chase account, I haven't been able to put a lot of money to the side. So in March, I focused a lot on debt. I think I want to alternate between, you know, debt savings type of thing like that, just for peace of mind. Do that, and I feel like I have to keep things on rotation in order to have that peace of mind that I'm doing everything that I can and I'm touching all of the areas in my life that I want to improve on. And lastly, I also want to have a plan for my rollover. In my envelopes a lot, I have random amounts. It could be like $25, sometimes it's like $5, sometimes it's like $2 in the gas envelope, whatever it is. I want to have a plan for that rollover. I tend to leave it in my envelopes for now because I'm like, well, what if next month I go over a little bit? But I think that that's the wrong mentality to have, because I'm just training myself to be able to inch up and push my budget to the limit, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to ever feel like I'm at the edge or up against the wall, or I'm spending exactly what I spent that month. You know what I mean? So I don't want to have $25, but then that last $2 and I'm like, ooh, I can make an extra trip to such and such and spend this $2. I don't want to feel like I need to spend that money. So I want to have a plan for that rollover, and I don't know, I'm still kind of trying to figure out like what are some good things to do with it. I mean, you can always find something to do with money, but I mean, like, do I put it toward debt, savings? Do I put it towards Elijah's savings? I don't know. I just don't know where to put it, but I just know that I don't want to have it sitting in my wallet because I don't want to be tempted to spend it and to push the limit, because I will push. I will keep pushing, and then we'll be right back where we were last September, looking crazy. So yeah, guys, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for sticking around. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up and stay tuned for my next video, which will be the cash stuffing for the first part of April. I already have the cash pulled out of the bank, so if that's something that you're interested in, be sure to subscribe down below and hit the bell notification so that you know as soon as that video goes live what my plans are with my life for the month of April. You'll see all of my categories and where I put every single dollar. I am a zero-based cash budgeter, so it's always fun to get our net income down to zero, and we just work from there. So thank you guys so much for your support. A 5K giveaway is coming up soon. Oh my God, I can't believe we're almost at 5,000. I got some awesome suggestions on Instagram. I asked you guys, well, what did you want me to include? So we got some things in the works. Don't worry about it. So thanks again for watching and for your support, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.